Alright, what's up? Welcome to my first BALLxPIT video. So I wanted to talk about a character combination that I found that I think makes at least the final act of this game much easier. Really, once you have the building that allows you to combine two characters, I was experimenting and I identified that if you put these two characters together, you have both a more unique playstyle, which has some interesting synergies, and also a playstyle that honestly is very easy. So none of these other buildings are really required, it's mainly stat stuff. But you'll want to combine the Shade, which shoots from the back of the arena, and the Flagellant, which allows balls to bounce off the bottom of the screen. So our goal here, you can see I've done this on normal, fast, and fast plus. I actually one-shot it on all three of those, and we're going to try and one-shot it on fast plus plus for the 9 minutes. But our goal is really just to keep the balls bouncing around on the screen as long as possible, and then just try to get things that synergize with that, right? Create more balls, do more damage, etc., etc. So from this start, this is okay. This is not exceptional. We don't really want that. Ball launch speed by 30%. It's not bad. Let's just take that. But we don't need to dodge a ton of stuff in this zone. But you'll see right here, we just put ourselves off to the side, and boom, just shoot them out, and they just stay bouncing around the screen, and we're gonna want to scale their speed. And look at that, just as I talked about it, this rubber headband, I think, is incredible. Maybe even required, the only thing that's absolutely required to do this run, or at least have it run extremely smoothly. It just provides you so much speed, and that speed, because you're not really catching the balls, will just stay with the balls, they'll just keep bouncing and do a ton of damage. So I've tried a few runs where I did not have that, and I would say it felt much worse. But really that just depends on if you can get a setup that you're interested in for your balls. Let's see. I don't really want to fuse any of those things, so I'm going to go ahead and do a little upgrading. With all my speed, you can see it just goes absolutely crazy. Now, of course, I want to focus on a little bit of damage stuff, getting my balls in the order that I want them to be in. I think I'm going to have to hold off on this. I want poison. Here we go. Rude Mother. So this, those of you that are familiar, whenever it hits, has a chance to create a baby ball. And that'll just allow us to start spawning even more balls, cover the screen, and later on we'll combine it with a couple evolutions. Whoops. That was a little early. Did not mean to pick that up, so that was kind of a waste. But that's okay. These are all kind of useless. Just gonna re-roll. See if we can't find something a little bit better. Like this. We'll just get a little crit when you hit it from a specific side. You know, for us, we don't really have to care about the side because we don't really control what we're doing after they start bouncing around like crazy. Now that everything's level 3, go ahead and combine these two, the Brood Mother and the Egg Sac. Just allows us to create a bunch of egg sacs, create a bunch of balls, and yeah, I mean, what more can you say? On the first boss, you've seen we have not really had any issues so far. Actually, what side is this? On the left side, okay. Trying to make sure that I'm actually doing this for the boss. Just probably a little bit more value. I mean, of course, now I can't really hit him, but oh yeah. We're bouncing around. Leveling up. There's Spider Queen. I think potentially we'll combine the Spider Queen with the Lightning. Just gives us the AoE ability to proc that chance to do an egg sac. We do need to kill this guy first, though. That's a little important. Well, proc the laser. Uh-oh. Nice. Okay, we barely got it. But we got it. None of these are good. Just go ahead banish something, trying to improve our chances. That's pretty good, but this is also really good. So I'm going to go ahead and get the balls do 80% more damage after hitting the back. Because since we spawned them from the back, they essentially almost instantly hit the back. And then we can go ahead and just get our 80% more damage for the rest of the time that the balls are out. Which is a pretty substantial damage boost. There are a couple other really good options in terms of equipment. I think we have a lot of options. I don't really have a tier list in terms of what's good yet, but I can tell you that this should work quite well. So combine our Spider Queen and the laser. So we'll have a laser, which will then have a chance to do an egg sack, and then the balls from the Spider Queen also have the same properties as the laser, and we'll start getting a ton of lasers and a ton of balls. That's what it's all about. BALLxPIT. Okay, what do we want to do next, though? Do we want to rob the Broodmother again? I think something that can synergize with what we already have, so we can start clearing up some of these ball slots would be ideal. So I'll go ahead and pick up Wind. Don't want to fuse right now, so I'll just upgrade for Wind. Try and kill this thing before it reaches us. Boom, barely did it. We did it. Wow, look at that work. Capped out at the moment. So we really need to grab a fusion after we kill this boss. Just obscene amount of lasers. Just all of our little brood things spawn them. Whoops, didn't even click that, but it doesn't really matter. Try to make sure everything dies before it reaches us. Ideally, we don't have a ton of control over that, but you gotta love it. Oh, those things did not all die before it reaches us, but that's okay. Evolution. Okay. Lightning. We'll just do this. Oh, we got two. Interesting. Shoot. No, don't really want to do that. That was unfortunate to not grab that from that far away, otherwise I would have waited a little bit until I could level up. Okay. What do we want to do? Oh, that's lightning. Interesting. So there's Cell. I could combine Cell with Storm. Just to create a lot more things. That doesn't provide a ton of value. You know what, let's just try it. Throw a Cell in, see what happens. Maybe we'll discover something new. Something good. For the moment, we'll just grab these two fusions. Don't really want to do that fusion. Yep, level our Cell up. Now, would I rather combine Cell and Dark or Cell and Storm? Wish I had paid slightly more attention to what the Storm was actually doing. I think Cell and Dark, let's see, if it destroys itself but also creates two copies, who knows what that's doing. Something's bouncing around back there. For sure. Go ahead and, I guess, rock up the Broodmother. We'll combine that with our Storm in a little bit. Nope, okay. Oops. I'm gonna have to hope I get another vision before final boss. I think the final boss of this stage is actually surprisingly easy. Hasn't given me nearly as much trouble as some of the other ones, I'd say. But maybe that's because I keep playing this build. I've not yet tried Void with even, I think, even a single other build, so we'll see what happens. Final boss time. And we will essentially just keep doing exactly what we were already doing. Hopefully this thing dies. Nope, some damage. Oh well. Seems like we won't get that final fission, but that's okay. As you can see, we have a lot of lasers happening anyway. You know, this boss shoots a ton of projectiles, but we have even more, so all of the projectiles are getting destroyed before they even reach me. There's one move that we have to look out for. They kind of do a spinning attack where they kind of approach us, spin, shoot a bunch of projectiles. That's something that we will likely need to move a little bit for. But in the meantime, we're kind of just hanging out. Letting the rest of our balls go to work. Not even really aiming, if I'm being honest. Right. Take my hands off my keyboard, not that I feel that's necessary. But boom. Alright, here we go. He's doing his little spin attack. Spawn some homing magic fireballs or whatever. Ooh. Dodge. Okay. Didn't dodge. Dodge. Didn't dodge. Okay. We're fine. We're chill. We're safe. Loss is at 35%, something like that. I should probably try aiming again. Just aim directly at him. Hopefully take care of some of these fireballs before they actually hit us. This is where we need to be concerned. Ooh. Because again, he's doing the spin at us move, which is dangerous. Boom, 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 boom. Still have all these balls flying on the screen. He's bouncing away from us, which is exceptional, exactly what we want. You're not really killing him that fast, to be honest, but, you know, hey. You know, it's a pretty easy build. And also, I didn't really plan anything. I'm sure there is a lot of optimization to be done. We'll go ahead and see what the stats look like after we finish this. Assuming we kill him, which is, you know, I'm feeling relatively confident. I don't know how much health I have, actually, so I don't know how many of these fireball hits I can tank. Like that little health potion. You know, I can do that health potion. Okay. Teleport through there. Wow. Yeah, as far as I know, that's random, so I kind of just lucked out. That's how it goes. Dodge a little bit. He's almost dead. Oops, I'm an idiot. He's barely staring at the screen. Ow. It would be incredibly embarrassing to fail now. Uh-oh. Dodge, dodge and weave. Boom! And that's that. Fast plus 9-minute run completed with the Shade and the Flagellant. Super easy. You don't have to plan for it. I mean, honestly, you saw there's a lot of deliberation happening throughout that whole thing. But boom, let's go ahead and take a look at the stats after we take a small trip in our flying spaceship. Boom, boom, boom. A lot of XP. Whatever. And then, okay. So the storm, kind of useless. Kind of a bad pickup. That's my bad. Shouldn't have done that. The Spider Queen laser, like I said, absolutely owning. So the laser to then just make a ton of egg sacs, and all the egg sacs which then do their own lasers. It all works out beautifully. You can see, right, a majority of that came from the Spider Queen, which is ideal. Yeah, this dark thing did absolutely nothing. In fact, it was even worse than just using Cell itself. So I guess the whole splits into a clone on hit 4 times maybe isn't doing anything. I'm not sure. It just seemed like it didn't do very much. Wow, this crit thing, kind of useless apparently, so maybe I should avoid getting that in the future. But you'll see this balls deal more damage after hitting the back of the field did a ton of damage for us. So this is a really good synergy. I think this upturned hatchet and this rubber headband are, the headband I would say almost definitely required in order to feel good playing this build. The hatchet is just a ton of free damage, so why the hell not? Alright, well, thank you so much, and good luck.